This week I'm making my 700th one-of-a-kind art doll. I wanted this one to be a little bit special, but I wasn't sure what theme to go for until I realised she'd be ready just in time for the start of Pride Month. So of course it had to be rainbows. I'm making a 22cm doll. It's been a while since I refreshed the template for this size. I have made a few adjustments to the shape, but I think it's due for a complete overhaul. So I've cut out some new template pieces. The head and body are mostly the same, but I've made the limbs narrower so they'll fit better with the beads I'm currently able to get hold of. I stuff all the pieces with some polyester fibre. Then I'm going to joint the limbs with some silver tone metal beads. The legs have just one joint at the knee. There's no joint at the ankle. I'll be painting some boots onto those later. I attach the head to the body with a button joint. One button goes on the back of the body, that'll be hidden under the dress. Then the thread goes up through the neck to a second button on top of the head, and then back down to the first button. The head is held in place by the tension of the thread between the two buttons, but it still has a little bit of movement. Before I sew the legs onto the body, I want to paint some boots. I'm using some black acrylic paint with a bit of fabric medium mixed in. I kind of scrub the first coat into the fabric to get a good even coverage. That'll soak in a bit, so they need a couple of coats of black. Then I'll paint some laces on them. I was going to go with plain white for the laces, but then I remembered this iridescent glitter paint. It's quite subtle. I'm not sure how well it'll show up on camera, but it looks really effective when the light catches it. The legs are attached to the body with a small stitch at each side. It's basically a hinge joint. I'm keeping them quite loose though, so there'll be a little bit of side-to-side flexibility. I don't do too much measuring when I'm making dolls, but I do like to make sure I get these even so the doll doesn't end up looking lopsided when she's placed in sitting. I like to shade the area around where the button eyes will be with some high pigment coloured pencils. I start with black to get a nice dark base, then once I've got the shape and the position right, I start adding some colours over the top of that to give it a bit of depth. These are Derwent Chromaflow. For this one, I'm using some blue, purple, and a deep green. I use a blending pencil to deepen the shading and smooth it out around the edges. That'll need a couple of coats of fixative spray, so I'll start work on the dress and come back to the face later. I found some pride flag ribbon that I had left over from last year's Pride dolls, so I thought I'd make her a cute belt with that. I love how it stands out against the black dress. I joint the shoulders with a single thread that goes right through the body and through those beads at the top of the arms. I stitch through each shoulder a couple of times, then fasten it off under the back of the dress. If you're enjoying watching this little one take shape, don't forget to hit the like button and let me know. This helps a video get seen by more people. You can also subscribe if you like so you don't miss the next one. I'm adding some line detail to the face with Derwent Line Maker ink pens. She just needs some swirly Gothic eyeliner and a simple line for the mouth. The Derwent pens and pencils I use are all vegan friendly. There's no animal pigments in them and they're light fast so they don't fade over time. I'll put some links to them in the description. If you're looking for some nice quality vegan friendly art materials, these are a good choice. I was going to do the whole head of hair in rainbow colours, but it turns out I only have a couple of scraps of this orange acrylic yarn left. So I'm going to do most of the head in black. Then I can felt in some streaks of rainbow colours over the top. I'm using a super chunky acrylic yarn from the Signet Seriously Chunky range. As usual, I'm needle felting that in with the Clover pen style tool and 3 38 gauge needles. The fibres in this yarn are quite long, so once I get about halfway, I stop and unravel it, then I can pull out those loose fibres and use them to fill in the rest of the head. Now I just need to add some rainbow coloured strands. I start with red at the front and work backwards along the parting. I love how bright these shades are. Perfect. I've named this little one Branwen Crowfeather. If you'd like to see some more of the pride flag dolls I've made, there's a playlist here I think you'll enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Bye.